Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today previews of the episodes of 20 and 21 April will see Zuleya as the protagonist and the continuation of the act committed by Cetin shooting Rustem because of Gulten. But before you start, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Hunkar overhears a telephone conversation of Demir in which the Yaman plans a business meeting without his presence. The matriarch is a little disappointed and offended, also because since the death of her husband Adnan, she has worked hard to keep the family business standing on Demir is about to destroy everything. Hunkar vents to Saniye. Behice, on the other hand, is in the company of Hatip and Sermin and advises the man to believe in himself to ensure the business goes well, so everyone will hang on his lips. Hatip is surprised by Behice's words and tells her he will do it the right way. Meanwhile, the day of the meeting has arrived and Hunger shows up anyway, telling his son that she has always attended company meetings, but Demir points out that since he decided to marry Fekeli, this is no longer the case and he has lost the right by this decision. Gulden goes to prison to visit Cetin, where she confesses her love to him and tells him that is in her presence she did not have the courage to admit it and therefore feels responsible for what happened to him. But Cetin reassures her by saying that it doesn't matter because he loves her so much. And the only thing that matters is that she loves him too. Only one thing she's afraid of, and this is how long. Should she still be in prison, maybe she will stay there for another 10 years, and so she urges to her to live life without him. Gulten, at this point, interrupts him and declares that in any case she will be out there waiting for him because she can't see a life without him, holding his hand through the grating that divides them. In the meantime, the time has come for the renewal of the position for the Chamber of Industries, and therefore a meeting is held in which the candidates are presented. Demir Hunkar, who leaves everyone surprised, and Hatip, whose candidacy was completely unexpected, while Ilimas renounces his candidacy. After secretly voting and counting, Hatip took office. After secretly voting and counting, Hatip took office. The latter is required to make a speech to thank everyone, during which Demir leaves without even listening to him. Hunkar, on the other hand, remains in the curious assembly and listens to him, and after pointing out Demir's gesture, he announces to everyone that will be the president of all. In the evening, we see the celebration for the role conquered by Hatip, who is proud of himself for defeating the Yaman family. When Behice arrives at the party and congratulates Hatip, who thanks her for giving him the good advice and spurring him to her candidacy. Hatip's wife is very suspicious and asks him where she met her. Hatip obviously doesn't tell the truth, and Nasia immediately asks him after her invites Behice to join the women's group to get her away from her husband. Ilimas is with Fekeli, and they talk about Demir and the fact that he left the assembly, making fun of him. But Fekeli instead tells him that in all of this, it would have been better not to elect Hatip, but that anyway, since it happened due to the problems they have Demir and Hunger between them. In doing so, will destroy themselves, and therefore he and Ilimas will not have to act to annihilate the Yaman. Ilimas appears very satisfied with his situation because the Yaman family will soon no longer exist. On the other hand, Demir Hunger meet and Hunger shows him the newspaper article in which they will write that the Yaman family has come to an end. Demir obviously blames her, but Hunger points out that if they remain divided, they will go in this point of the series that the episode will go into the future. Precisely 3 months later, showing the club party scene for the anniversary of the Yaman company, were also invited was the governor who congratulated Hunkar on the results obtained by Demir. Here comes intervening Hatip, who tries to be the center of attention in vain. On the other hand, Ulimas and her good father are having dinner, and Ulimas informs Fekeli of the existence of an Italian company that sells sprinklers built with the latest technology and the capable of solving the water problem of the countryside. The company is looking for a partner in Turkey for the sale, and Fekeli is strongly in favor of this, but he believes that the news has already reached Demir ears. Yilmaz, however, reassures him because he has already contacted the company in question to start collaborating, and also tells him that if the thing goes through, they will be only distributors of those machines in Turkey, and that Demir too will be forced to buy them, and therefore its economic outputs will increase. Sherman arrives at the Yaman company party and complains that his father has not been mentioned, accusing Demir and his mother. But Demir points out that his father has nothing to do with this company. At this point, Sherman thinks it is best to shout at everyone that the company was also built by his father and that Demir has taken all the shares and properties belonging to him. Here, out of nowhere, Nasia intervenes, who, accusing Sherman of adultery, forcefully pulls her hair. So the others try to separate the two ladies, and Sherman is taken away by the security. Obviously, the situation has degenerated. Demir and Juncker embraced apologized to the governor, putting Sherman in a bad light to justify his behavior by saying that it has always been unmanageable and that it has gotten even worse after the divorce from Sabatin. Demir also informs the governor of the fact that immediately after the death of his uncle, and therefore of Sherman's father, he proceeded to liquidate his share to his cousin. But the governor has no doubts about Yaman's honesty and therefore tells them to set aside it. Meanwhile, Nasia tells the other woman about Sherman adultery and Hatip, who try to deny her. But she doesn't give up because she is telling the truth until Hatip catches her and take her away from there. Zuleya, on the other hand, begs Demir to go home with the little Adnan because she is tired with that belly that she now has. Before that, though, Demir gives a speech and talks to everyone, apologizing first for what happened because of Sherman and continuing to tell the story of the company. Then Sherman is furious against Nasia and makes a point of losing everything, but if they come back together, they will regain power over Chukurova and thus leave to the choice to Demir. I'll go back home. Nasia and her husband Hatip also returned, and he scolds her for making him look bad in front of everyone present. But Nasia points out to him that he put himself in a situation and that she only told the truth. And that furthermore she just had to hide because of what she did with Sherman. A few moments later, Nasia discovers that the apartment where Sherman is staying is being maintained by Hatip. At this point, her wife spits in her face and Hatip tries to hit her. Nasir shows herself without fear and orders him to do it, but he doesn't have the courage. However, she warns him that sooner or later she will disappear from the face of the earth. Poor Nasir points out to her husband that instead of apologizing and showing at least a little sorry for what she did to her, he wants to kill her and adds she just has to be ashamed. Furthermore, he adds, challenging him, that he doesn't have the courage to raise his hands on her and leaves. Zuleya returns home and the same time as Elimas and Muigan uh, as they exchange it a distant glance. The Zuleya points out to Gulten that Muigan, whenever they pass each other, he gives her menacing looks even though the relationship between her and Ilimas is over. At the same time, Muigan complains to Ilimas that Zuleya watched her, which is why she urges her husband to build a wall that separates their cottage from the Yaman mansion. Obviously, Ulimas urged her not to always talk about the same subject, but Muigan continues complaining about the presence of little Adnan, always in their garden. Rightly, Ulimas point out that when the silent partition was demolished, both Damer and him were in agreement, and therefore she shouldn't blame anyone, and that she can't rebuild it just on him of his. The next day, of the images of the company party appears in the city newspaper, and Fedig and Gulden, looking at them, notice even more the beauty of Zulea. The previews he ends here for today. So please remember to put a like and follow our channel. See you on the next video. Thank you for watching.